Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to So You Think You're Iconic, the movie podcast where the Beatles were right. It has been a hard day's night, and I have been working like a dog. I I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Normally I would ask Kelley to tell me about her week first, but I'm going first.
Yeah. He's going to trump me like no matter what
Yes,
in terms of week busyness.
I worked late every single day this week. That was fun. That was so much fun. And then Friday, I was in charge by myself. I've only been working here a month. I don't know anything. And I was in charge from 1 o'clock until we finished. And somehow that was the day we ended up like getting off on time, kind of.
I
I was
mean,
I
that
was
good for you.
I was shook. I was told, I asked like before my manager left, my supervisor left, I was like, what do I need to get done today? She told me
Mhm.
we got that shit done. And I was like, cool. We everyone leave.
Right.
Closed my laptop and I was like, I'm done.
Like my week has been a nightmare. We are getting everything done as fast as humanly
As
possible.
fast as possible. And then I was like, cool, 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 cool. Relaxing weekend. Yay. No.
Nope.
No. So it was a long week. So I was like, Sabrina, let's let's go get a drink. But I was like, we can't just go get a drink. Like we're not alcoholics. So we went hiking first. And then we went to go get a drink. And that was we went to Lazy Dog. I got a mojito.
Mm,
It
I
was
love Lazy Dog.
delicious. It was delicious. They were serving brunch, so I got like a breakfast sandwich. Oh, it was good.
Ooh.
Muy delicioso. And then, oh yeah, I've also been keeping up with my Duolingo. Like I have not missed a single. Sometimes I've only just done one lesson because I was like, I'm exhausted, but I've not stopped. I've been doing it for like 130 something days.
Good for you. Duolingo
Yes,
Owl is not coming after you.
not coming after me. Yeah. And so we did that. And then since I had a drink, we walked around and like shopped a little bit before I drove because I'd only
Mhm.
had one drink, but still, you shouldn't like drink and drive. So we went to the Halloween store because I want to look for a costume for Halloween. Didn't find what I was looking for. And we went to Half Price Books and I got a movie that we're going to do next week. And I got a game.
Oh,
Will I have time to play it? Who knows? But I got one.
okay.
And then went to Target. And then I
You love
dropped Love
Target.
Target. Love Target. Please sponsor us. Um, and so I was like, cool, cool, cool. So I took Sabrina home, went home myself, like just got in the house, turned on the TV, let dogs outside to use the bathroom myself. Then my sister called and she was like, you want to go roller skating?
Ooh.
And I was like, sure, why not? Because like I don't ever say no. And Kelley just sent me something funny. Oh, so yeah, I was like, cool. And so she was like, meet us here. And so I went to my aunt's house. It got maybe I was maybe 5 minutes away. And then my sister was like, did you leave the house yet? And I was like, yeah, I'm almost there. And she was like, can you go back to the house? We need our vaccine cards.
Oh my
I was like,
gosh.
why do you not have pictures of your vaccine cards?
Right.
I was like, no, I'm not going back home. I'm almost there. And so we did not go roller skating. We went bowling.
I
We
feel like
went
that's more fun anyway.
we went bowling at 7 o'clock at night. I had still not seen this movie because I did not have time during the week to watch this movie. Still had not seen this movie. We did not finish bowling until like 9 o'clock. Did not get home till like 9:45.
Yikes.
So I really didn't start this movie till like 10 o'clock last night. And then also, while I was right before we went bowling, our other friend texted me and she was like, "Do you want to go for a run tomorrow?" And I was like, I was like, "Sure. Yeah, why not?"
At this point.
And so we met up at 8:30 and went for a run. Yay.
What a life. What a life.
And I don't have any other weekends where I can just stay at home all weekend because my next 3 weekends are booked.
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 Yep.
I'm booked and busy. Let's go over what's happening every weekend. Next weekend, I'm going to Halloween Hunt with my cousin Brandy. Weekend after that, I'm going to Fright Fest with Kelley and some friends. Weekend after that, I'm going to Outside Lands. I am busy,
Yeah. Yep.
exhausted.
We don't know the definition of a good work life
Life
balance.
balance?
No,
No. Or the definition of good sleep? I
don't
have
know
not
her.
I have not slept past like 7:45 and I don't even know how long.
I feel that.
I
I feel
just I
that.
just want a day where I can just go to sleep and not have to wake up till noon, even though I can't sleep till noon anymore. Like I
Me
can't.
neither.
I can't. Like at most I could probably sleep until like 9:30.
Yeah, same. My limit's like 9, 8:30.
I want to go back to the good old days where I
I
can
know.
sleep till noon.
I know. I need that back in my life, please.
But those are gone. Probably because my anxiety is up. But how's your week, Kelley? Hopefully it was better than mine.
Um, no, I think I've reached my final straw with work, and
Ooh,
I know I say this every
I'm
week,
almost there, so I feel that.
but I'm filling out applications for new work because
Me too. I'm gonna
honestly,
start as soon as we finish recording.
because
Mm,
honestly, f this job,
same,
f this job.
same. I should Me working late should not be the norm. It really
Yeah, it
shouldn't.
really shouldn't. And honestly, I shouldn't dread going to work every day.
Girl, I don't even go anywhere. I just open up a laptop and literally when I have to look at that MacBook, it gives me heart palpitations.
I know, like, bro, I shouldn't be dreading Tuesdays. I should not be dreading driving to work. Like, I hate Tuesdays.
Yeah, I've never hated a job like I hate this job.
Right.
And I
Like,
worked at Panera Bread where I had to be there at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
right. And you actually had to deal with people during the day.
Yeah. And I still didn't hate that job as much as I hate this one.
Honestly. Like, I deal with people. Some of them are nice, some of them can be very rude, but like, for the most part, it's okay. But like this job still sucks.
Yeah. So pray for us that we
So
get new jobs.
yes, please, and better pay, better work-life balance.
Honestly,
Um,
I would take lower pay for a better work-life balance because this is stressing me out. What's the good if I have money if I'm dead from
right.
stress?
If I'm having a mental breakdown every weekend, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I literally told my mom on Friday, I was like, you know what? Being institutionalized sounds pretty nice. I literally told her that. And she looked at me like I was crazy. And I'm like, I'm going crazy.
But I think my only shining light this week is, well, technically next week. I'm going to Santa Cruz tomorrow.
Ooh.
So that's my I don't know, my like treat yourself kind of day. Also, Jordan's going to be very proud of me because I am now slowly getting into his version of treat yourself. I am about to spend a very, well, in my eyes, big amount of money on clothes and a new bag because I'm going on a trip in November. So I'm just dishing out cash so I look good and I feel good when I when I go on my trip.
Girl, how much is a lot of money to you?
Well, one bag that I'm buying is $59 flat
Ooh,
rate.
$59, Kelley.
Dude, that's a lot in my eyes. And then I'm buying myself some new clothes
I
and
spent
like,
like $200 yesterday. Not even kidding. And that wasn't even a treat yourself day. That was just a day.
I know I'm buying myself that. I bought myself some stuff off of Etsy, which probably got to $15, and I feel like that's a treat myself day. So
Girl,
it's
if you
it's
broke, just say it. I can't
I'm
with
not
you.
I'm not broke, but like I never like seeing my bank account below $1,000.
Girl,
I like I know I have money to spend it, but I'm just like I hate spending it. I hate it.
look at her. She's a mess.
I really am. I've got my priorities all out of whack. But anyway, that's my issue.
That's not an issue. That's a non-issue.
A non-issue.
Well, we will further discuss this later.
Yes. Yes,
I
we
I
will.
can't. You know what I'm ready for though?
What are you
I'm
ready
ready to
for?
discuss Coraline. Or as everyone
Yeah.
in the movie called her, Caroline.
Caroline. Sweet Caroline.
Ba,
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 ba.
ba. Thank you to everybody who did that at home. I
Yeah.
appreciate you.
So
This one's
good.
this this one's for you.
This one's for you.
Okay, so we start this movie with a doll that floats into a window of a house and is remade by needle-like fingers and
Frightening,
hands.
terrifying.
Terrifying.
The two scariest things in the world, dolls and bony fingers.
Yeah, I hate dolls.
Does not sit well in my spirit.
Mm-mm. Nope. Oh, like I know this movie isn't scary, but that first like needle hands, no, thank you.
It's not scary.
True. So the doll goes from a little black girl with a pink dress to a white girl with blue hair and a yellow raincoat. And once it's finished, it's released back out the window and it floats somewhere else. We then see a moving van and a car pulling up to the Pink Palace apartments.
Those are not apartments.
They're not apartments.
They're not apartments. At best, you could consider it a triplex, but it's not even that. It's a
Yeah.
singular house that this old woman split up into three different sections that three different
Mm-hmm.
people could live in. One
Mm-hmm.
person lives in a base, or two people, but one
Yes.
portion is a basement.
Mm-hmm.
The other portion is the actual house.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last portion is the attic.
The attic. These people got screwed over.
How is she getting away with this?
I really don't know.
This seems very illegal.
It really does. And I hope that whatever rent they're paying is free or very low.
The only people who should be paying like a reasonable amount of rent are the people who actually live in the house. The other two quote unquote apartments, they should be getting paid to live there.
Right. Like they're really just making do.
Yeah.
They're really down on
Do
their
they
luck
even
to be
have
living in a place
bathrooms?
like that. I honestly don't know. I know like in the basement it looks like they have a kitchen,
Oh, that
but I
just
don't know
brings up
about
a
the attic.
myriad of more problems. That seems like a fire hazard to me. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Let's skip this.
um we then see the movers moving stuff into the house. And then once they're gone, a little girl who looks like the doll from the beginning leaves the apartments. She finds a branch and follows where it points as a black cat follows her. They get like into like close to a forest, and the cat makes some rocks fall into her path. And the girl throws a rack. Whoa.
A rack in the middle of the forest? Just
Yeah.
throws a
I
floating
know,
rock.
I know, I now have an accent. She throws a rack up there.
There's a rack up there.
A rack. She throws a rock back up to where the cat is, asking who's there. The rock hits the cat and it hisses and it freaks the girl out, making her run deeper into the forest area that she's in. The cat catches up
Yeah.
to her in
Yeah,
anger.
you heard her. She freaked out and ran deeper into the forest.
Yes. Yes.
That makes sense.
Also, whenever those rocks fell into her path, she decided to fight instead of run.
I do both. I know for a fact that my fight or flight response is both. Like
It's
literally,
bone.
if you're close to me, I will swing on you and then I will run.
Okay.
I've learned it from haunted houses. I ask Brandy. She knows. She knows.
Oof.
There's a
Oof.
story
Okay.
there.
I want to hear that story later. Um, the girl tells the cat she's trying to find a well. And when the cat doesn't answer, calls out for the well. Then a horn blasts behind her, and what looks to be a creature on a bike races towards her. And she tries to fight back, but he jumps off the bike and ends up on the stump looking at her. It turns out to be a
I
what's up?
I would have beat his ass. I
Yeah.
literally would have. You come at me wearing that mask, I would have picked up a stick and I would have beat you with it until you stopped moving.
Right.
Don't do that to me.
Like first you blast a horn at me in the middle of a forest, and then you charge at me.
Yeah, with that creepy mask. No.
Yeah, yeah. That's grounds for a beating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can't argue with me. You scared me.
Yeah. You brought this on yourself.
Really though. It turns out to be a boy who wonders about her water witching. She gets angry about his assumption and being followed by him and his cat, and tells him that she was dowsing for a well. And for those of you who don't know what dowsing is, it's basically using a rod of some kind to find water. He tells her that she's standing on it and reveals the well underneath mud, and tells her that it's so deep that if you fell in, you would see the sky full of stars during the day. The boy is surprised that his grandma, who owns the Pink Palace, let her family move in when she's against having children in the apartments. When she asks why, the boy introduces himself as YB Lovat, short for Y-born, which I am so sorry, YB.
That's funny.
I am so sorry.
That's that explains why his parents are not there. And that makes me laugh so hard. It's very sad, but it's
It's
also
very
funny.
sad. Like, I know you could have come up with a nicer name. Like, I get YB, but you didn't have to tell him that it was Y-born.
Yeah, don't tell me that.
Don't tell me that.
Because now I'm gonna have to get a therapist. And I don't want that.
Right. You've shackled me with therapy.
Yeah, for the rest of my
And
life.
yeah, so somebody's gonna have to pay for it, and it's not me.
Yeah, I'm not paying for that. I'm 5, like, or 6, or whatever age he is.
Right.
8,
I don't
yeah.
know. He looks like he's 10 or something. I don't know. Um, and the girl introduces herself as Coraline. A voice then calls out for YB, and he ignores it. But when Coraline confirms um, that somebody is calling for him, he gets a little scared, and before going, points out that Coraline's dowsing rod is actually poison oak and rides off, with the cat following. Coraline drops the stick and goes back to the well, dropping something in to test how big it is when it starts to rain. Back at her new home, Coraline tells her mom how she almost fell into a well the other day, while her mom half listens as she works. Coraline wants to go outside to garden, but her mom tells her no because it's raining. Coraline starts to complain, and her mom tells her to go unpack before handing her a package from YB that he left on the porch, with a note saying that he found it in his grandma's trunk. It's the doll from the beginning of the movie that looks just like her. Coraline then leaves and goes to check on her dad and asks about the gardening tools, but he doesn't tell her, agreeing with his wife that she can't garden in the rain. She's disappointed by the answer and starts to annoy her dad with a squeaky door, and he gives her the task of exploring the new house to leave him alone. Also, I hope if I ever have kids, they are not as annoying as her.
I'm just I was just worried why no one was freaked out about this doll.
Yeah, yeah,
Everyone just seemed like it was okay. And I was like, where did it come from? Who made
right.
it? Why does it look like her?
Yeah. Like, why does our new landlord have a doll that looks just like you?
Just like, yeah, questions would be asked if it were me, but I am anxiety ridden and trust no one. So,
Right.
yeah.
Also, her parents totally ignore their daughter.
Yeah. And not even like in the normal parent way. Like they were being
Yeah.
exceptionally rude to their
Yeah.
daughter.
Yeah. Like I get you're working, but you could like be like, "Hey, honey, I'm working. I'll answer a few of your questions, but like you got to leave me alone for a little bit after
Yeah.
that." They literally just dismiss her like, "Please, just I need to work. Leave me alone." um So Coraline then goes around the house with her doll before ending up in the family room where she puts up the snow globes that her family buys and writes down more details about the house. She goes to grab her doll and finds that it's not where she left it. This is the part of the movie where I would just freak out.
Burn it.
Burn it.
Burn it.
Yeah, if you find that doll, don't touch it. It's
We've talked
possessed.
about this in many movies. If something is acting up in your house, either burn down the house or burn the object that's acting weird.
Yeah. And then you leave.
And then you leave. Never
Yeah,
come
because
back.
that's the only answer. She then finds the doll behind a box by a small locked door behind the wallpaper. She annoys her mother enough to make her find the key for the door, and her mom goes into the kitchen and finds a black key with a button on it and assumes it's the right one.
Yeah, right. There were hundreds of keys in
There
there.
were
And she was
hundreds of
like,
keys in there.
this one looks right.
Right, you use this one. I love how
Also,
she didn't see all of those keys and just went, Coraline, you look through it. You want to
yeah.
open that door?
Yeah, you figured
That's
out
your
which
task.
key works. That would have given her like a good 10 minutes of something to do. Also, we need to go back because I completely
Okay.
forgot something. When she was like exploring the house, she went into the bathroom and my
Mhm.
jaw hit the floor.
Oh, yeah.
There were bugs in the bathroom. And when she turned on the shower, brown water came in out of it. So
Right. And she
here's
got hit with the water.
yes, the water touched
And
her.
yeah.
So if it were me, either Wybie's grandma is going to jail or I'm going to jail. Cause no,
Yeah.
I'm not dealing with that.
Mm-mm.
Someone's going to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let it be me, because you'll be going to the hospital.
Oh, dog's barking. Yeah. Wybie's grandma is going to jail and she's getting a bill for me replacing all the piping.
Yeah.
That's what she's getting.
Yeah.
Coraline's mom then breaks the wallpaper and goes to unlock the door.
Never
As
getting that deposit back.
really, though, what was she thinking?
What was she thinking?
She literally should have seen it behind the wallpaper and be like, sorry, honey, I can't.
Yeah, I can't. Like she was that
Unless you got
desperate
the
to get
money
back to
to,
work.
right, I guess. I would have been like, Coraline, if you have the money for the deposit back, I'll do
Yeah.
it. But no.
I'm not cutting up walls. That's not
Mm-mm.
happening.
Mm-mm. So Coraline and the doll watch as her mom does this. When it's opened, it reveals a brick wall, and Coraline is disappointed. That night at dinner, Coraline complains at dinner about the food and about the house, that she is given the choice of eating dinner or being sent to her room. She is sent to her room. She misses her friends and says goodnight to her doll before going to sleep that night. We then see the little door in the family room open and 3 mice come out of the brick.
Disgusting.
Coraline is then woken up by squeaking and finds a mouse in her room and follows it back to the little door and finds it isn't bricked up anymore. Why are you following a mouse, Coraline? You should be
Yeah.
freaking out that there is a mouse in your house.
In your house. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. She crawls into the tunnel and ends up back in her house with things slightly different. She then smells good food being made and finds her mother in the kitchen. But when her mom turns around, Coraline says it isn't her mother because of her button eyes. The woman confirms that she's her other mother and tells Coraline to get her other father, who's in his study, who, when she gets there, tells her that he's writing a song for her. The piano plays him. You heard that correctly. Little arms
Yeah.
come out of the
The
piano.
piano
And
is like sentient.
yeah, it's
It's
sentient.
creepy.
It really is. and he sings her a happy little song that he wrote for her. After, she tells her other father that dinner is ready. Also, for the sake of me saying other father and other mother, I am just going to be referring them as OM and OD because
Cool.
that was a
Cool.
lot for me to type. Dinner is made up of a lot of good food for Coraline.
It's a
And after
Thanksgiving meal.
it is a
It's
Thanksgiving
a
meal.
thanks for like three people, and then there's no leftovers. Like they just eat the food, and then
It's
spoiler,
gone.
the next day they eat something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
all that food would have lasted my family like 3 days.
3 or 4 days.
Let's be real.
Also, is there a reason why Coraline called turkey chicken? She was like,
Uh,
she was like, wow, that chicken was delicious. And I was like, what chicken? You ate
I know
turkey.
you ate turkey. And even the dad makes a joke about it.
Oh my gosh.
Like, bruh, do y'all not know what you're eating for dinner tonight?
I'm convinced that Coraline is just special, a special little girl.
I mean, she's willing to follow a mouse to a little door and then follow the tunnel that she finds underneath it.
Yeah,
So,
she misses a lot of red flags.
yeah, this girl literally is just like, I want the adventure. I'm here to find it. I'm not
Right.
here to live long.
I'm here for a good time, not a long
Not a
time.
long time. After dinner, a cake is put in front of Coraline that says, Welcome home. When Coraline questions it, OM tells her that they've been waiting for her, which, red flag,
Terrifying.
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 Mm-mm. Coraline says that she didn't know she had an OM, and the OD confirms that everyone has one and to hurry and eat some cake so that they can play a game. This is quickly turning into Saw.
Yeah, Saul. Anytime a stranger is like, let's play a game, I'm like, absolutely not.
Yeah. Coraline suggests hide and seek, and the OM and OD agree with her, saying that it would be fun to play in the rain. Coraline goes to point out that it's not raining when lightning strikes and it starts to rain outside. She then points out it'll be muddy, and the OM says that they love mud and it's good for poison oak. Coraline is
Yeah,
freaked out.
because no one in the real world noticed that Coraline had poison oak on her
Yeah,
hands,
yeah.
which would
Not
have
even
spread
her
to her entire
parents.
body because
Yeah,
she didn't do anything about it and
yeah.
was probably
And
touching other
she kept
stuff.
touching it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's neglect.
No, ooh, I have a
We're
statement
gonna
to
get
make
there.
later. Yes.
Okay, all right. Coraline is freaked out when she finds that OM knows about her rash and says that she has to go back to her real mom. They take her up to her room, which is all made up for her. The OM puts mud on her hand, and Coraline goes to sleep.
While they watch her.
Yeah, they watch her
That
go to bed.
how can someone go to sleep while someone's watching
Right.
them?
How
I
can you
feel
be
like
relaxed enough?
I feel like that breaks human like instinct. I feel like we're
Yeah.
like our like primal nature is like we can't sleep while something is watching us because we're
Mm-hmm.
afraid that we'll be attacked.
Mm-hmm. The monkey brain turns on, and
Yeah.
so it's like something's watching
Yeah,
me.
something's watching me. What's happening?
I can't relax.
Because literally, um, one night my sister like sleptwalked or something, and she like walked into my room, and literally I could like feel that someone was watching me while I was dead asleep. And I woke up and I
Oh.
was like, what's happening?
Oh
And then I
no.
just saw my sister standing there, and I was like, what happened?
You're like, if this is a demon, we're both dying,
Right?
okay?
It's like, are you here to kill me?
Right.
Because
Just
I don't know what's happening here.
right. You either kill me or you tell me an omen where I die in 3 days. Like,
Yeah.
one or the other, please. Coraline wakes up the next day to her drab room, but finds that her rash is magically gone and races to the little door in the family room, but finds that it's bricked up again. Coraline tells her parents about her dream at breakfast before her dad goes back to writing, and her mom tells her to visit the women downstairs to get Coraline out of her hair. They also don't listen to her about her dream, by the way, which is very rude.
Yeah. They like don't care at all.
Uh-uh. Why do they have kids? Coraline leaves the apartment and finds smelly packages for Mr. Bobinski at her door. She goes to return them and opens his door by accident and looks in. Honestly, if I lived in the apartment that he lived in, the attic, I would have to be in a very dark place. Let me just say that
Oh,
right now.
yeah. Yeah,
It's
you have to
literally
be
there's nothing nice about this attic.
yeah, you have to be really down on your luck
Mm-hmm.
to live in this attic.
A figure comes up behind her, and it's Mr. Bobinski, hanging upside down, closing the door, saying the mouse circus isn't ready yet. She gives him the packages, and it's cheese samples to train his mice for the circus. He thanks her by giving her a beet before going back inside. She throws away the beet as she leaves, which rude. Like, I get you didn't want the beet, but you could have just brought it home.
Right. You can be like, Mom, I have a beat.
Yeah, I'm going out now. She gets her clippers that she dropped early on and goes to explore with when Babinski comes out and jumps down to her, saying that he has a message from
Oh
his mice.
my gosh. Literally, she did not freak out enough for me. She
Yeah.
did. He literally is wearing like 3-inch inseam shorts and
Mm-hmm.
drops down like over on top of her. And then she like looks up, would not look up, would not
No,
look
don't
up,
look up.
don't look up.
And I love how she put her clippers up to protect her.
Yeah.
Like, girl, his weight would have just crushed you
Crushed you to death.
if he didn't catch himself. Um, the mice's message to her says that she should not go through the little door. And when she explains it's bricked up, Bobinski says that the mice sometimes gets things mixed up before leaving. Coraline goes to the family car and cuts down her small suitcase that has her hat in it, which that suitcase should have been messed up because it was pouring rain
Yeah.
earlier.
Pouring rain.
She then goes down to meet the women who live below her. And one of the ladies, named Miss Spink, invites her. Oh, her name is Miss Spink. I think I misspell her name for the rest of this.
Oh,
Sorry,
well.
guys. I'll try to remember. Invites her in to play cards with her and Miriam. Their house is odd, with old memorabilia from their theater days and taxidermy dogs.
They're stuffed dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Stuffed dog. And it wasn't like in a cute way, like in Kingsman,
Mm-mm.
where
No,
that man, what's his name? Don't remember. Ramsey or something like that.
something like that. I don't remember.
Colin Firth,
It's
where
Colin Firth.
where he like loved his dog for years
Mm-hmm.
and it was like his one and only dog and so he like stuffed it.
Yeah.
No, these women had like
Mm-mm.
20 dogs on their wall that looked
Yeah.
exactly the same and just stuffed them and put them in angel costumes.
Yeah. And like later on, they preemptively make the angel costumes,
Yeah.
which is
They're like
very
this
morbid, by
they're
the
like
way.
this dog is sick. Let's start making his costume right now.
If I were the other dogs, I'd take one look at that and be like, I'm out.
I'm out of here.
I'm out. Um, she is then made tea and given old candy. When Miss Spinks asks her if she'd like them to read, Coraline is confused, and Miss Spink clarifies by saying that she'll read her tea leaves. Coraline drinks her tea, and when Spink reads the leaves, she tells Coraline that she's in grave danger. But Miriam reads them and says that there's a hunky man in her future.
What is the
Miriam read the
truth?
Yeah, what is the truth? Is it both?
Is it both?
Is it both? The man is the grave danger?
Yeah, the man is the grave date. Probably.
Yeah,
Probably.
probably. So they're both correct.
Yes.
They argue about the meaning before Coraline gets up to leave. When she leaves the apartment, it's foggy outside, and Wybie follows her in the fog. When Coraline catches him, he says that him and the cat were hunting for banana slugs. And while he's searching, she asks him how the doll looks exactly like her, but he doesn't answer her, and she complains that he's just like her parents who don't listen to her. which true. Nobody in this movie listens to
No
her.
one listens to her at all. Like she'll be like, my name is actually Coraline. They're like, cool,
Caroline.
Caroline.
Yeah,
I,
yeah. He then finds a banana slug and he makes her take pictures of him and the slug. And after, he tells her he's never even been in the Pink Palace because his grandma would kill him if he went in there. He explains that his grandma used to live there with her twin sister and that she went missing. But his grandma thinks that she was stolen. The cat watches them from the roof and angrily meows when he notices the doll in the window. Coraline then asks what YB thinks happened, and he says he thinks that she ran away before he's called back by his grandma. That night, before Coraline goes to sleep, she leaves cheese for the mice to come back, and it works. She chases the mice back to the little door, and it leads her back to the other world. Her OM is making breakfast and tells Coraline to get her OD, who's in the garden.
she is making breakfast with that same cheese that was on the
On the
floor and
floor.
then the mice picked up.
Yeah.
You can't eat at everybody's house.
No.
You really can't.
You really
You
can't.
can't eat at everybody's house. Mm, mm.
No,
She like
know who you're eating with.
know who you're eating with, and then she like sticks a piece of the cheese into Coraline's mouth. I gagged. That's disgusting.
All of them should be dead.
All of them.
Or
Typhoid
deathly
is
ill.
running amok.
And with that brown water.
Yeah.
Coraline then goes to the garden and finds it full of flowers and greenery, and her father on a huge mechanical praying mantis, planting flowers for them. Flowers start tickling her, and the OD rescues her. Coraline then tells him that breakfast is ready, and before they leave the garden, the OD shows that everything planted looks like her face from above.
That would freak me out.
Yeah.
That would freak me out. I would have been like, why? What's with your weird obsession with me?
Right. Like, I would have been happy if it was just flowers, but you made it look exactly like me.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Yeah, that's forethought, bro. That's not great. The OD says that the OM planned it all that way and that she knows Coraline like the back of her hand. At breakfast, OM says that Mr. Bobinski has invited her to see his mouse circus. Coraline says that she knew YB was lying about Bobinski, and OM gets up and says her friend is there to see her. It's YB, and Coraline goes to say hi to him, but finds that he doesn't speak. And the OM says that she thought Coraline would like him better if he didn't talk.
Imagine someone deciding that you talk too much, and so they just sew your mouth shut.
Right. Like, y'all.
If that were the case, a lot of people would be quiet. A lot of people would have sewn mouths in this world.
Mm-hmm. It'd be very quiet.
It'd be very quiet.
She then sends them off to Bobinski, and Coraline asks YB if it hurt when they see a small little...
Did he even answer?
No.
No?
He kind of just looked at her.
He's like, yeah, it hurt, but like, what's the alternative?
Yeah, whatever. Right. They then see a small balloon float into Bobinski's apartment. Inside the apartment, everything is set up like a circus, and when they enter the tent, they watch the mice and Mr. Bobinski perform for them. After the performance, Coraline is back in her nice room, and her other parents and YB are watching her this time.
Yeah. Even more reason that I would not be able to sleep. Now you're just bringing in a person who I casually know to watch me sleep. No.
Right. What's next? The women downstairs?
Yeah. The rats?
Right, the rats. She then falls asleep and she wakes up back in her drab room upset, but gets energy when she remembers the cheese on the floor. Coraline races to the little door, but finds that she can't open it anymore. Coraline and her parents are in the car and she tells them about her dream while her father is dropped off at work and Coraline and her mother go school clothes shopping. At the shop, Coraline finds cool gloves that she wants, but her mom tells her to put them back. And Coraline says that her other mother would get them for her. If I was her mom at that point, I would have been like, yeah, then go live with your other mother.
Right, go live with your other mother.
Right. If she loves you so much, go live
she
with her.
sounds amazing. Let's all go live with her.
Right. Let's all go live with her. She sounds like she got money.
Right.
On the way back to the house, Coraline asks why the door was closed off, and her mom tells her that she found mouse poop and she closed it off for Coraline's safety. Coraline then complains about that and their new life and her new school that she's going to be going to. Back at the house, Coraline's mom notices that there's nothing to eat in the house and invites Coraline to go grocery shopping with her because her dad.
This was the part of the movie where I was like, I'm calling CPS on these people.
Yeah.
Not only are they just not paying attention to their daughter, letting her just run around in the woods by herself, they also don't have food in their house. They've been there for several days and they have no food in their house. I'm calling CPS.
Right.
Immediately.
And they don't even have snacks. Can I just say that?
Nothing.
She can't even offer her daughter a snack and be like, yeah, eat this while I go to the grocery store.
Nothing.
Like they're literally the definition of mom says there's food at home and you open the refrigerator and that's what it looks like.
They had wine and condiments.
Yeah. No.
She was like, do you want like a mustard sandwich? And I was like, are you kidding me?
At that point, do they even have bread to make a sandwich? Like,
they probably didn't have bread.
Coraline's mom says that her dad has something special planned for dinner, and to make it up to her, she says that Coraline can pick out anything that she wants at the store. Coraline brings up the gloves again, and her mom says that if things work out for them, that she'll make it up to her. But Coraline doesn't believe her, and her mom leaves.
Yeah, just left her child alone.
Yeah, with no food.
With no food.
Also, can I just say, like, I understand Coraline's a brat, and like her parents are very much neglecting her. But like, if y'all don't have the money, can y'all just say that to her?
Right. She's like, we can't afford them right now. Just say that. Right. She'll
just
understand.
Say that. I mean, my parents did that to me and I understood when I was younger. Just say that to her, please.
Yeah, please just say that. Also, why didn't they go to the store while they were already out?
Right. That's a waste of gas.
Yeah, you just wasted a whole trip.
When her mom leaves, Coraline finds the key immediately that her mom tried to hide. I'm going to say that with a question mark because she just like tacked it up above a doorway.
Yeah, that wasn't hiding.
And Coraline goes to the little door and finds it all real, and because she's not dreaming. The cat watches her go into the tunnel through the window. Once inside the other world, there's food out for her in the kitchen and a present of new clothes from the OM saying that Spink and Miriam invited her down after lunch. After Coraline has changed and eaten, she goes outside to go to the apartment below when she notices the cat. Coraline tells the cat about Wybie and asks if they're the other cat. The cat then talks and says he isn't the other anything. Coraline asks how he could talk and how he got here, and he explains that he's been coming here for a while, and it's a game he and the OM play of him coming in and her chasing him out because she hates cats. Coraline is surprised when the OM is such a great person, but the cat says that she isn't a nice person, and the other Wybie told him so before leaving when he hears something. Coraline then enters the women's apartment to find it set up like a theater and filled with, is that like the ghost or like their old pups? Their old puppies?
I don't know, but there were just like hundreds of
but there's
dogs.
Hundreds of dogs in there. And she has a front row seat with Wybie. The show starts and the women are barely clothed and sing
terribly.
Like Yeah.
And
And
Coraline is better than me because she is like pretending like she's having a good time. She's like clapping and like going like,
Mhm.
yeah, I can't do that. Even as a child, I couldn't do that with bad performances. I would leave. I there's nothing I hate more than a bad performance.
Jordan was born a critic.
Yeah, I was bored criticizing things and people.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
And he really needs to make like a life out of it because he'd be great.
Yeah, I get secondhand embarrassment when a performance is bad.
Yeah, same.
Like
Same.
I'm like, do you not realize this is happening?
Y'all thought this was good enough to perform
Right?
today? Okay.
Like for a performance to happen in most cases, there needs to be like sometimes an audition or someone has to recommend that a person performs.
Hmm.
And I'm just like, so we got through that step and no one was like, hey, this isn't working out.
Yeah.
And then you have like a
Or no, or
rehearsal.
nobody talked to the producer of this and been like, "Hey, maybe this sucks.
Yeah, this
Maybe this
sucks.
production sucks."
I mean, it's being run by dogs, but that's still not an excuse.
Because I mean, maybe that dog, maybe those dogs do have taste.
Yeah.
We don't know that. Everything starts to go wrong though, and the curtains close, and the two women show up on a high board, and it looks like they're about to jump into a very small bucket on the stage. But before they can jump off the boards, the women unzip themselves to show their younger selves, and they do acrobatics in the air and have Coraline join them. Did you hear that?
Yes. What is that?
I think that was one of my neighbors.
Okay.
Good for them. I hope they're having a good Sunday.
Yeah, I hope they are.
After the show, her OM and OD are there, but YB looks concerned as he follows them to the house. Before entering the house, OM looks back at YB and mimes at him to smile before closing the door. Once inside, her OM and OD say that she can stay forever with them under one condition. And OM puts a box in front of Coraline. When she opens it, it's two buttons and some string and a needle, and she's confused. OM explains that she can have any color buttons she wants for her eyes, but Coraline says no.
Yeah, Coraline's finally coming into some sense. She's like, I'm not cutting my eyes out. Like, what are you
Right.
talking about? Why is that even
Like she,
necessary?
right. She was a little slow on the uptake. Like if I opened that box, I would have been out of there.
Yeah. If I
But
saw the needle, I'd be like, oh no, whatever's
right.
happening here, I'm not a part of.
Mm, right. I was not under the impression that we were cutting my eyes out today, but I guess that's happening and it's not happening to me.
Yeah, I'm like, I got some things I gotta wrap up back in the other world. I'll just go to
Right.
sleep.
Right. It's very
I-
pressing.
I'll come back tomorrow, and then we can talk about this later.
Right. 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 The OM says that to stay here with them, she has to say yes to the button eyes. But Coraline panics and says she's tired and runs up to her room. In her room, Coraline blocks off the door with her furniture and forces herself to sleep so that she can leave. After sleeping a little bit, she wakes up, calling out for her mom and dad, but she's still in the other world.
So
Coraline,
that confused me.
yeah, that did.
That confused me. So does going to sleep not take you back to the regular world? And if not, how was she getting back?
I don't know.
Just want to know that. If anyone knows the answer, please let us
Right.
know.
Like, was the other mother climbing through the tunnel and putting her back
Right?
in her
Was she
bed?
did she like throw her over her shoulder and then just like claw her way through the tunnel and then take her back to her bed and then go back to the other world?
Right.
That was
Did the
weird.
mice do it?
Yeah, the
That.
just imagine hundreds of mice just carrying her up the
Ew.
stairs and putting her in her bed and tucking her in.
Uh, I'm like, if that was true, let me just say that for a second. Imagine like being her parents, and you just hear like hundreds of tiny feet, and then you like open your door and you just see mice bringing your daughter back to her
Just
bed, and you're just
carrying
like,
your daughter up the stairs. Yeah.
I've got to be dreaming still, and just like go back to bed.
No, I would do that. I'm like, we're leaving this house immediately. I'm like, wake up, Coraline. We're
um,
moving.
all right, we're moving. Don't even bother unpack. Don't bring anything. We're leaving.
Coraline looks at the clock. It's 2 a.m. Yeah. We're moving. We're moving. Don't bring your stuff. Just come on.
Yeah, it's contaminated.
Yeah.
Coraline goes downstairs, and when she goes to see the little door, she finds the door to the family room is locked. Coraline then finds her OD and asks where the OM is, and he lets slip that she's resting and that he shouldn't talk without her. When the
Ooh.
piano hands come out and stop him from talking.
Ooh. We also need to talk about how, first off, the other dad looks like he's melting. And
Yes.
he looks like a mixture at this point of like Sylvester Stallone and Danny DeVito. It looks bad.
Yes. He's got
It,
like the body of Danny DeVito and the face of Sylvester Stallone.
yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. And then imagine the two of them, but they're also melting.
Yeah.
It's, yeah. I think this was the part where like I do get a little freaked out when he like pulls the face to look like
Yeah.
Wybie.
Bad things are happening.
Yeah. Coraline wants more answers from the OD and says she'll ask Wybie about it. And OD says Wybie wouldn't smile, and OM didn't like it. Coraline gets afraid and runs from the house on her way to the well when the cat catches up to her. The cat asks what she's doing, and Coraline says that she's leaving when they find themselves walking in a white space. The cat explains that OM only controls a certain amount of space and only made stuff that would impress Coraline.
Yeah.
When she asks
And
why,
for some reason, the way to impress Coraline is to make the house she doesn't want to live in. That made no sense to me, but
yeah, she literally could have made a mansion somewhere else.
Yeah, literally anything else.
But anything else. When she asks why she would do it, the cat says the OM is either looking for something to love or something to eat. And Coraline is all okay with this, by the way.
Mm-hmm. She didn't get freaked out at that at all. But I have more questions about that later. I do. Okay. I'll ask them to you.
All right. Coraline and the cat end up back at the house, and they hear a little trumpet sound.
Oh, also that cat is a little shit. I'm like, I want to leave, and you just won't tell me how to leave. Like, you come in and out of this place as you please. How? I want to leave.
Right. Can you show me your little disappearing act? So the cat attacks, and it turns out to be one of the circus mice. Coraline goes to stop him, but he kills it, and it changes into a rat. And the cat says that it was spying on them. He takes the rat and leaves, and Coraline goes back into the house and goes to the family room door and breaks it open. She sees the little door, but it is covered by a beetle wardrobe. That's the word that I was looking for. I put chest, but wardrobe is what I was looking for. And the room lights up. The room has bug furniture, and the OM is there saying that even the proudest spirit can be broken with love. No.
This is not love at this point. It's obsession.
This is giving me you vibes.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying I don't like it.
I don't like it at all. Let me go home.
Mm-hmm.
If you love me, you'll let me go home.
Let me go. Coraline says that she wants to go back to her real parents, which upsets the OM, and says that she has until the count of 3 to apologize, while the OM transforms into a spindly, tall woman.
Oh my gosh, you know what I wrote when this happened?
What?
I literally put, okay, skinny queen.
Since nobody said it, hourglass.
Yeah. We don't know
she
her.
Got them hips. What an icon. What a spindly queen. When Coraline doesn't apologize, the OM drags her to the hall mirror and throws her in, saying that she won't be let out until she learns to be a loving daughter. Coraline is then in a dark room, but hears something and finds three ghosts who were lured by the OM and spied on by the doll and promised better lives. And when they accepted the button eyes, their lives were eaten by the OM.
Yeah, what's with the
Coraline,
buttons then? See, this is my question here, right here. What's with
mhm.
the buttons? Is her whole goal is just to eat them? What's with the buttons?
I don't know. Maybe the buttons like secure them to her world.
And why does she need their permission to eat them?
Because
Just
consent is key.
oh, oh, she's like, I won't do anything to you without your consent, but I'm
Yeah.
going to gaslight you into giving it to me.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna gaslight you. I'm gonna use reverse psychology. I'm gonna make you want this.
Yeah, I'm going to trick you. So it's not really consent, but like you're verbally saying it. So it counts.
She's like, I'm gonna make the alternative so bad that you'll want to be eaten.
Yeah.
So Coraline says that she has to defeat the OM, and the ghosts ask her to find their eyes so their souls can be free. When hands grab Coraline and drag her out of the mirror. Coraline fights the hands and finds that it's Wybie, who has a mask on his face. And when Coraline takes it off, his face has been sewn into a smile.
Yeah. Why?
Coraline, yeah,
You already have Coraline at this point. You don't
at
need to
this
keep
point,
up
yeah.
with the prefix. Like,
Maybe she thought Coraline would be better after sleeping, and like if she ever did see YB, then he'd have to smile. But wouldn't it be obvious that he was sewn?
that his face was sewn. Yeah.
Yeah. You would think that the other mother is like a great mastermind, but she really isn't.
She's unraveling at this point, both
Yeah.
literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
She is like, I don't know what's happening. All the other children at this point were like, sure.
She's like, why did a difficult child have to
She
make
was
more
like, I
efforts?
only planned for 3 days of material. I don't know what to do at this point.
She's like, I don't know what went wrong. They usually say yes. Now I got to come up with all new material.
It's like these
I
new
can't
age
rehearse.
children, they're so difficult.
um, Coraline does the stitches, and when she goes to talk again, YB shushes her and rushes her to the little door. The OM has heard her and is coming for her while YB forces her to leave. She goes to bring him with her, but he takes off his glove and shows that he's disintegrating. Why? I don't know.
Yeah, never
But he's
explained.
disintegrating.
Is it that he
No one
can't,
else is disintegrating.
right? Is it that he can't go to the other world, to the regular world, or is it because she's doing the OM is doing it? We'll never know.
Yeah, no idea. The OM is on their heels, and Coraline rushes through the tunnel and locks the door behind her. Once in her real house, she calls out for her parents, but only finds the groceries her mom got that has now gone bad. How long has she been in there?
Right? How long was she in there? Because
Like there
these
are
groceries were
gnats.
rotten.
Yeah, there's gnats in the bag. That doesn't happen after like 1 or 2 days.
Mm-mm.
Uh-uh. And like if they were gone for more than a week, how has nobody like come to check on them?
Right? No one's noticed. Didn't they have like a deadline for their paper or whatever?
Yeah. And her dad wasn't even home, so
He wasn't.
how did they grab him? Cuz like we see the car at the house.
Yeah.
So you know the mom came home.
Mm-hmm.
Did she have the dad with her?
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
The doorbell rings and Coraline thinks it's her parents, but when she opens it, it's Wybie.
Yeah,
Wybie
because
asks,
your parents would really ring the doorbell to
ring the
go into their
doorbell.
own house.
She was not thinking. Wybie asks for the doll back, saying that his grandma is looking for it, and Coraline says that the doll looked like two other kids and his grandma's sister. She drags him into the house and shows him the little door, but when he asks if she can open it, refuses and agrees to give him back the doll. She goes to look for it in her room, explaining that that's how the OM spies on you and makes her world better than your life. YB freaks out and runs off while Coraline runs after him, saying that he's still not listening. Outside, she sees her
He
mom's
is
car and
listening. You're just not reacting well.
Yeah.
He's giving an appropriate reaction. You're not.
Yeah, you told him that there's an OM and that the doll that he wants back spied on you. And he's running away,
And
which
he
is a
left the
correct
house
response.
like a normal person would.
Mm-hmm. Outside, she sees her mom's car and sees if her mom and dad are inside, but they're not. And she uses her mom's phone to call her dad, but he doesn't pick up either. Coraline goes to Spink and Miriam's to tell them her parents won't be able to take them to the theater because they're missing, which they're only upset about them missing the theater, by the way, not that her parents are missing.
Yeah. They aren't like, oh, where are they? Do you know where they are?
Right.
Do you need help? They're like,
Right.
oh, I'm upset. I'm gonna miss my
Yeah.
show. And what were they doing before Caroline and her parents moved in to get to the show?
I don't know.
They just weren't leaving their house.
I guess they weren't leaving the house.
I mean, same,
Except to
but
get
like,
their maybe the only time they left was to get their dogs taxidermied.
oh, okay.
Priorities.
Priorities.
Miriam then brings out an old bowl of candy, and when Coraline goes to ask what's going on, Spink attacks it with her knitting needles and gives Coraline a looking glass that's good for either bad things or lost things. Coraline leaves and goes to her parents' room that night and sleeps with pillows that she makes into her parents.
Terrifying.
Terrifying.
How can you sleep?
Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to.
One, knowing that your parents are missing, and then two, putting those weird doll thingies next to you. Absolutely
Yeah, like I
not.
get it's for security, but you could have just like put two pillows on each side of you.
Yeah.
Questionable.
Questionable.
The cat wakes her up in the middle of the night, and when she asks if he knows where her parents are, he leads her to the hall mirror, where she sees them freezing and they write, "Help us." Coraline breaks the mirror, and the cat consoles her. When she asks how it happened, the cat leads her back to her parents' room and drags out a two-faced doll that looks like her parents from under the bed. Coraline burns the doll in the fireplace and looks at their souvenir snow globes and resolves to go save her parents.
Where are all these dolls coming from?
I don't know. Also, who's moving them? Does the
Yeah.
doll move by
Do they
itself?
move by themselves? Are the
Because she
rats
must have had the
helping?
doll come back. Right. She must have had the doll come back because she had to change it into her mom and dad.
Yeah.
Or
And
did she
then
have one for the parents?
who knows?
Coraline then gathers supplies and the looking glass and goes through the little door with the cat. He warns her that she's walking into a trap, but gives her advice to challenge the OM to a game because she loves games. Halfway through the tunnel, she
Red
hears her
flag.
mom's red flag.
Red flag.
She literally loves to play games, Coraline.
Yeah.
That's a red
That's a
flag.
red flag.
Halfway through the tunnel, she hears her mom's voice and thinks it's her regular mom, but finds it's the OM.
Coraline is dumb.
She really
Like
is.
completely, like you know that your mother and your father are together, hidden somewhere.
Yeah.
And you think that the first person you see is your real mother.
Girl. When she asks where her real parents are, the OM says they must have run off without her, while a mouse brings her the black button key, which she swallows. When Coraline asks why she wanted the key, the OD comes in and says that there's only one before he's dragged out by the OM for talking too much. Once alone,
Didn't
Coraline
she
hears the
make him?
sound. Yes.
She made him. So like it's her fault that he's so dumb.
I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless the OD is sentient as well, but he's just dumb.
That could be possible. That could be
That could be
possible.
possibly. Yeah. Once alone, Coraline hears the sound from earlier that her parents were making when they were writing on the mirror and knows it's her parents, but she doesn't know where to find them. The OM calls her in for breakfast, and once there, finds the button eyes again on the kitchen table.
Yeah,
And
it's the middle
Coraline
of the day.
proposes.
It's the middle
Yeah.
of the day, but it's still dark out in this other world.
Oh, there's a movie fact about that.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later then.
Oh, yeah. um, Coraline proposes an exploring slash finding game to find her parents and the eyes of the ghost children, and says that if she loses, the OM gets to keep Coraline and sew buttons for her eyes. But if she wins, Coraline and everyone gets to leave. Before the game starts, Coraline asks for a clue, and the OM says to look in the 3 wonders she gave her. And when she goes to agree, turns around to find the OM gone. Coraline goes to the garden first and has to fight off plants with her clippers and bugs trying to steal the looking glass. When she wonders why they tried to steal it, finds that when she looks through it, the world is black and white except for where the children's ghost eyes are. She finds one of the eyes and goes to take it, but it's the OD on the mechanical praying mantis. It goes to attack her, and the OD keeps apologizing the whole time. And when he goes to get her on the bridge, he falls into the water, but he gives her the eye before he drowns. Coraline, after he drowns, the garden turns white and starts to break down. Coraline then goes to the theater and finds it empty, but sees the dogs as bats on the ceiling. And then a big candy wrapper is on stage. When she looks into it with a looking glass, the eye is inside, held by 2 hands. She takes the 2 hands out of the candy wrapper, and when she opens the hands, finds the eye. And when she goes to take it, the hands close around hers and finds it's Finkel and Miriam entwined together. They latch onto her, and Coraline flashes her light at the dog bats, but they don't move, and eventually throws the light at them to get them to attack the women, and she gets the eye back.
That could have ended very terribly for her.
It really could have. They could have attacked her instead.
They could have attacked her. She didn't know what was going to happen.
She really didn't. She just hoped for the best.
Yeah.
I love how the only plan that she came up with was to propose the game. Yeah. And that's as far as she got.
And she didn't even have a plan for the
game.
She
really didn't. She didn't. She literally came up with all of this on the fly.
On the spot. And it just all works out.
Mm-hmm. After she defeats the 2 women, the theater starts to go white and break down as well. Coraline then heads up to the mouse circus and see Wybie's clothes hung up outside the apartment. Does that mean he's dead?
I think so.
Okay, that's what I thought. Coraline screams in frustration at the OM before heading into the apartment. In the apartment, Bobinski is there, and he has the eye and asks Coraline why she would ever want to leave when she could stay with them forever. She goes to take the eye, but Bobinski explodes into a bunch of rats, and they run away with the eye. She goes to chase after them, but is stopped by cannons shooting cotton candy, and desperately throws her looking glass at the rats that are leaving, but it misses.
Dumb.
Yep.
Dumb.
And the rats get away. Coraline eventually gets free, but when she stumbles out into the stairwell, it's broken and falling from the house. She hits the ground and she is rattled after her fall. She thinks everything is over when a button is almost about to eclipse the moon and everything around her is turning white. But the cat comes by with the eye and a dead rat. Coraline thanks him and says she's going inside to face the OM, and finds her parents as the whole world goes white and disintegrates. The cat and Coraline race into the house.
Perfect metaphor for my life at the moment.
Inside, Coraline heads back to the family room as the inside slowly comes apart. The OM is there and looks broken and fragile. The OM asks for the eyes, but before Coraline can hand them to her, she asks where her parents are. The OM says she remembers and said it'll be tough for Coraline without her looking glass, and she throws it into the fire. One of the eyes glows and tells her to be clever, for the OM won't let her go even if she does win.
Which they had a deal.
They really did, though.
Yeah. She was gonna make sure that Coraline kept her end of the deal. So how are you not gonna keep yours?
Like, I know they didn't shake on it, but the OM technically agreed because she played the game.
Yeah.
So she's a liar now too.
She's a liar and a cheat and a kidnapper.
Cheat. Yeah. And a sore loser.
Yeah.
Coraline looks at the little door once and says that she knows exactly where they are and says that they're behind the door. The OM goes to investigate, and the cat finds her parents in one of their snow globes. The OM coughs up the key and opens the door and says that Coraline is wrong and has to get her eyes sewn, but Coraline throws the cat at the OM and grabs her parents' snow globe. The cat attacks the OM and takes off her button eyes as the floor disintegrates into a web, and the cat escapes through the door, while the OM searches for Coraline. Coraline climbs the web, but her bag gets stuck, and when she tugs it free, it alerts the OM. Coraline goes to the door and goes to lock it, but the OM tries to pry it open. The ghost children come out of the eyes and help her close it, and Coraline thinks it's over, but the tunnel starts to get eaten up as the OM screams for her to come back to her. Coraline gets out and locks the door just in time. She looks at the eyes and drops the key in the bag with them. She calls for her parents and finds that one of the snow globes is broken when the front door opens and it's her parents. Coraline is excited to see them, but her parents act as if nothing has happened to them and tell her that they are celebrating tonight because of their catalog. That night, her parents put her to sleep and they plan a garden party. And before they leave, her mom slides a box onto her bed. Coraline opens the box when they leave, and it's the gloves from the clothing store.
Yay.
They did
one kind thing.
Yeah, but also girl throws tantrum, gets what she wants anyway. There's two sides of the coin. I'm being cynical right now.
Yeah, we love it.
The cat then shows up at the window and she lets him in and apologizes for throwing him at the OM. Coraline tells him that it's time to free the kids and sets their eyes underneath her pillow and goes to sleep. She dreams of the freed spirits, but they tell her that she's still in danger and that the OM will come for the key that Coraline keeps on herself.
Oh my gosh, when that one girl was like, "You're in danger, girl," I was like, oh my gosh. Like, if you've never seen Ghost with Whoopi Goldberg, she says the exact same thing. She's like, "You in danger, girl."
Also, if you haven't seen Ghost, the iconic pot making scene.
Mm-hmm.
It's an experience.
They make fun of it a lot.
Yeah. Do it for the culture. Go watch it for the culture if you haven't seen it yet. Coraline wakes up and the eyes are broken under her pillow, and she tells the cat that she has to hide the key. Coraline goes to leave her room, but the cat tries to stop her, but she gets out anyway. Coraline passes the family room and the hand claws out from behind the door. Coraline is on her way to the well and the hand follows her. She's about to drop the key in when the hand comes out and grabs the necklace and starts to drag her back to the house. Wybie shows up and takes the hand off Coraline. The hand attacks Wybie and he and the hand almost fall into the well. Coraline takes it off him and wraps it in her blanket, while Wybie drops a rock on it and breaks it.
Coraline was not helping Wybie at all. Like he was hanging by one hand, about to fall into like a 30 feet deep well, and she did not care. She was like, "Figure it out yourself. I got stuff to do."
She's like, "My only concern right now is the hand."
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all. Excuse me. Coraline wraps the hand with the blanket and ties it off with the key, and they drop it all into the well. Wybie then apologizes for not believing her and shows her a picture of his grandma and her sister. Wybie is called back by his grandma and asks how he'll explain everything to her, and Coraline suggests he brings her to the house so they can both explain to her. The next day,
Sometime later.
Sometime later.
Sometime later.
The apartment tenants and Coraline's family are working together in the garden to plant tulips. As Coraline passes around drinks, when Wybie and his grandma show up and Coraline introduces herself. And that's where the movie ends.
Yay.
Yay! Are you ready for some movie facts?
Of course I am.
So you brought up the nighttime thing.
Yes.
So it didn't matter what time of day Coraline went in to the other world. The other world was always going to be at night, so you could tell the difference.
Oh, okay. I mean, I could tell the difference when people
Yeah.
with button eyes were walking
Button
around.
eyes were
But
there,
you know, okay.
Okay. The well, somebody figured out how deep the well was, and it's around 300 feet deep.
What the fudge? What?
Yeah, yes.
Why?
Yeah, it's around 300 feet deep.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
How did they even figure that out? It's an animated movie. How
They used the whatever she dropped, they used that, and the time it took for it to when she dropped it for it to hit the bottom, because you can hear it.
the Spike Hits 2 method.
Yes. This film was shot over the course of 18 months, following 2 years of pre-production. So basically almost 4 years of production for this movie.
I mean, it is claymation, so
it is claymation.
Yeah.
So initially, this film was going to be live action, and Dakota Fanning was actually going to physically portray Coraline. This film was also supposed to be a Disney film, by the way. But the director really pushed for claymation, and Disney wasn't going to support that.
But that seems expensive.
Yeah, I think that's why they didn't want to do it. So when the director decided that he wanted it to be stop motion, like for real, Fanning was asked if she would still be interested in providing Coraline's voice. She said yes, as she thought it would be fun to do. And grew even more excited when she saw what Coraline was going to look like.
Okay, that's sweet.
Yeah.
At least she still got a check.
Yeah, you're right. I know we say that we hate our jobs, but I'm going to tell you a job that I would hate to have.
Okay. Most
especially
jobs for me.
On this film. One crew member was hired specifically to knit miniature sweaters and other clothing for the puppet characters, using knitting needles almost as thin as human hair.
How is that even possible?
I don't even know. I would hate my job, though.
Yeah, most definitely.
How do you even hold something like that?
I have no idea. And why?
I don't know. So this movie is based on Neil Gaiman's novel. And the character Wybie Lovat is not a real character in the novel. He's only referenced to in the book. For the film, though, he was created so Coraline would not have to talk to herself and move the plot forward, like in movie sense, and so that she would have a friend her own age.
Were they friends?
That's questionable. I would say no.
I would say no.
But they're more like acquaintances.
Not even acquaintances. They
sounds like they could be friends like after the movie, but like not during the movie.
No. They were a convenience to each other, sort of.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure. And that's it for the movie facts. Question of the day. Iconic or not?
Yes, it's iconic.
Heck yeah.
It is stop motion royalty. It's one of the greats, especially for Halloween time. It's like
Mm-hmm.
this, The
Mm-hmm.
Corpse Bride.
I love Corpse Bride.
Um, what's another one?
Mm, I mean, there's
I'm,
Paranorman and Frankenweenie, which is still stop motion.
I have not seen Frankenweenie.
Me neither.
I have seen Paranormal though. It was okay. Yeah, but like it's good.
The music's good.
The music is good. It's kind of creepy.
It is kind of creepy.
I have a lot more questions about the OM, but
Yeah, I need question. I need a whole breakdown on the OM and the other world, please.
yeah. Someone send me a full analysis of her. I need a
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
backstory. I need motivation. I need why does she only eat children like every couple of like 80 years?
Right. Also, why did it take 3 children to go missing for them to realize that they shouldn't let kids in that house?
Yeah. Why not just tear down the house?
Yeah, right, right. Just get rid of the problem.
Just get rid of the problem at the root.
Yeah, we don't play around here.
Yeah. But yeah, iconic.
Yeah, I love this movie too. It's so great. Also, we don't get enough claymation movies because they take so long to make
Yeah.
and like they're expensive, but they always turn out so great.
Yeah. Always good. Always good.
So, any recommendations this week?
Yes, I originally had two, but now I'm going to have three
Oh,
because that's
geez.
something
Okay.
that happened. My first one is Kendall Ray on YouTube. If you like true crime, she does great true crime videos.
Ooh.
She also has a podcast with her husband where they like cover true crime stuff sometime more in depth than on
Mm.
her YouTube channel. But yeah, she's a great YouTuber. She does like every October. I don't know if she's doing it this year, but she usually does like the week of Halloween. She does like a week straight of like Halloween legends and stuff like that. Really good.
Oh, dang.
My second one is Like You by Bow Wow and Sierra.
I
Great
love that
song.
song. I love that song.
Love that song. Why has it not been turned into a TikTok challenge yet? The chorus, there should be a TikTok challenge where you try to sing the entire chorus in one breath.
One breath.
Yes, it would be great. Kelley, start it. Start the challenge.
I gotta have people watch it. I don't have that many followers.
Doesn't matter. You can do it.
We're good. Okay. All right.
Like Bow Wow, not Bow Wow. Like Ice Cube said, you can do it. Put your back into it. You got it.
Okay.
And
Fair.
then my third recommendation is American Dad because it's having its moment on Twitter right now. People are finally talking about how it's better than Family Guy. And I've been saying this from the jump. American Dad is hilarious. Hilarious. To this day, it is still funny. I love American Dad. The plots,
Roger's hilarious.
Roger is the best animated character of all time. Argue with your mother, argue with the wall. Roger is hilarious. And then anytime they do music on the show, it's a bop. It's a bop. Every time. They never miss.
That's a lot to ask, too.
Boys 12. B12. I think that was the name of the song.
Mm,
Great song.
that's a banger.
Daddy's Gone. Ultimate banger. They did a whole episode where they like parodied R. Kelly's Trapped in the Closet. Hilarious.
Oh, I think I know that one. I think I know that one.
Hilarious. Please, whoever is writing for this show does not make enough money because this show is gold. Please watch American Dad. If you don't like Family Guy, that's fine. Like it's tapered off quality wise, not American Dad. It is
Mm,
quality adult animation. Please watch it.
okay.
What about you? What are your recommendations for this week?
Okay. So I have two. My first one is the Anastasia original Broadway cast recording.
Oh, I saw that show
Did
when I
you?
came to San Francisco.
Oh my gosh.
It was
Uh,
good.
I am very impressed with the music, actually. There's a lot of good songs on here.
Mhm.
Also, like, I haven't watched it yet, but like just listening to it, I'm like, oh, they kind of changed the flow of the story.
Yeah, it's a little
Like,
bit different than the movie. Yes,
yeah, I was
yes,
about
yes,
to
yes.
say, yeah. Yeah, yeah. But like, I'm gonna just tell you right now, like, "Stay, I Pray You." For some reason, when I first heard that, I'm like, dang, that hits. Such a good song.
Yeah, it was a good show. I liked it.
And my next recommendation is a song from Songs for a New World. It's called Stars and the Moon.
Mm.
It's really funny. It's basically a woman um who meets three different guys in her life, and like they offer her different things. And it's like one of them is like, I'll offer you like a great life. I'll be a great partner to you. The other one's like, I'll offer you adventure. And she turns those two people down because she's like, yeah, all you're speaking to me is broke and I want to live big. Literally, that's
Yeah,
what she sings
whenever I
about.
hear someone like I'm going to give you a life of adventure, all I hear is we're going to be poor.
Yeah.
We're
And
we're
that's where
going to
she's here too.
yeah, we're going to be poor. Like you're not going to ever settle down. We're going to
Mm-mm.
be poor.
Mm-hmm. And then she finally meets a third man who is very rich. And so she marries him.
Good for her.
Yeah, she gets her yacht, she gets her diamond ring, she gets her fur coat, whatever. But then at the very end of the song, she's all like, years go by, whatever. She's like, I shouldn't have married this guy though, because now I have nothing but money. I don't have any substance.
Oh, boo-hoo. I have nothing but money.
Yeah.
Oh.
Go
What
dry
will
your
I
tears. Go dry your tears with your money.
yeah, what will I ever do? All I have is all this money.
It's a good song though. And Shoshana Bean, she's a great singer. I love her so much.
Oh,
She's got a
yes,
great
yes,
voice.
yes, she is.
And that's it for me.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to follow us on our social media. We have a Twitter and an Instagram. They're both at SY2II Podcast. You can also send us your movie requests, your movie stories at our email, sy2iipodcast@gmail.com. Were you the person who did the little mini stitching? Tell us how
Right.
that worked,
Right.
please.
How much brain power and hand cramps did you have to
Yeah.
go through?
Oh, the hand cramps.
Bruh. I can't even imagine holding something that tiny.
No, not at all. Please, please, please let us know what's going on. Are you okay?
Right.
Did that like completely turn you away from claymation? Were you like never again? Let us know. Also, you can share us with your friends and your family. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
please.
please. Subscribe to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. Because I know there's like 50 million podcast
Yeah.
places.
Oh my gosh.
You can also follow us on YouTube to listen to old episodes. I put up
Yeah.
The Great Gatsby last week.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. We talked so much shit about that movie.
Yes, we did.
We really did. And I don't even hate that movie.
It's a good movie.
It's like good movie, but like it's what we do.
Yeah, it is.
Um yeah, so we're on YouTube at So You Think You're Iconic. Don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Really helps us out, helps us get more notice. I want to get a native sponsorship. So like, come on, y'all.
Come on, y'all.
I Native, if you're listening, I use you all the time. I have your body
Honestly,
wash.
the
I
body
have
wash
your
is so
deodorant.
great.
Yes.
I love the body wash.
So like, help me out. Help me, help you, help me.
Yeah, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Also, don't forget to wear your mask.
Hmm.
Also, I went to a restaurant where they made us show our vaccine cards, and I've never been so happy in my entire life. I was like, of course you can see my vaccine card. Like, yeah, yes, you can see my vaccine card.
Of course, I'd love to show
I
you.
would love to show you. Let me whip out my phone. 1 second. Do you want a picture of it? Do you want the like barcode scanner thingy? What do you want? What do you want?
I have options for
I have
you.
options for you. Yeah, so like continue to be safe.
Hmm.
I know it's supposed to be fall, but like it's not fall yet.
I mean, it kind of it's transitioning.
It's getting colder,
It is, and I'm so happy for that.
but like not fast enough.
Mhm.
Also, where's the rain? I actually know it
Honestly,
usually doesn't start raining out here until November. I'm jumping the
yeah,
gun.
like
But
late October, early November is when it
yeah, like
starts to
around
finally rain.
Thanksgiving
Hmm.
is usually like when like the heavy rain starts.
Yeah, I'm
So
so down for that.
so yeah, can't wait for that, even though seasonal depression will it's gonna
Gonna hit
rock
like
my
a freight
it's
train.
gonna rock my shit this year. I just know it. But it's fine. It's fine, fine. Yeah. So like let's not get sick. So let's all be good.
Yeah,
Let's like take care of ourselves. Take
let's
our
root for one another.
let's root for one another. Let's take our vitamins.
Vitamin D is especially good for the seasonal depression.
Yeah. My aunt made me start taking it because like
Hmm.
I was in a dark place.
Yes.
Yeah. So stay iconic.
Stay iconic, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.